Connect with Hyesha Barrett on Jumpstart from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Amman. You're listening to 90.4 Amman FM live here in Studio One. Our apologies for not starting Wellness Wednesday earlier, as we did have some of our engineers with us here in the studio fixing up some stuff. As if you're tuned in earlier, we were having some speaker problems, or headphone problems. Well, now we're back, and with us in the studio, of course, Sada Dawatia. And since it's Wellness Wednesday, Master Life Coach, Master Neurotransformational Coach, and also international smuggler of art. She just smuggles art.
I do in my pocket.
She has several Da Vinci's.
How big is your pocket?
Very big pockets.
Oh my god, it's like
very
Hermione's bag.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Mary Poppins bags as well. I have that. Oh, sorry. There we go. Is that better?
That is better.
Okay.
It's better.
Sorry, the
Better.
microphone was too high up, guys. So
Okay.
it's too more projected voice now.
Well, today we're going to talk about something that is... it looks cheesy when you say it,
Yes.
but it's something I feel like is very necessary for a lot of people,
necessary. And it goes hand in hand with what we were talking about last week.
which is believing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, like when I read it out this morning, I started giggling. I'm like, how cheesy is this? And then the more I thought about it, the more I realized...
He was on a full monologue. It was like a Shakespearean soliloquy.
This morning on air, really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It's like...
I missed it.
Imposter syndrome was one thing that I was thinking. Since I've moved to Muscat, everyone I feel... I come across the most incredibly talented, most well-educated, cultured, bright and sharp minds. And then they say, I feel like an imposter doing what I'm doing. I'm like, you have literally gone above and beyond most humans on this planet in your field, and you feel like an imposter? Or you have good...
I put my hands up to that as well.
You wish. No. Again, very, very... like you put your hands up to feeling like an imposter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
With all your international accreditations, with all your years of experience doing what you do.
Can you believe it? And
she just spoke at TEDx.
I did.
Yes, she did.
I was in a TEDx talk.
Which is amazing.
Thank you.
And then she's like, yeah. And here she is on national radio, okay? The most listened to English station in the country, according to Apsos anyway. And she's like, yeah, I feel like an imposter. That's, in fact, the first time I ever heard the word imposter syndrome was from a woman sitting right next to me right now, Rawia Al-Amriya, who we just went through her career trajectory. She started off as an IT technician here at the ministry, became a program producer, then started presenting her own show, then moved away, worked in marketing, worked in construction, then worked in a bunch of freelancing positions, and now is a college lecturer with her master's degree teaching logistics and IT and computing.
MashaAllah,
yes.
Amazing.
And she's like, yeah, I don't believe in myself. But again, maybe it's healthy to not believe in yourself. I don't know. We're going to find out today. So, Hyesha Barrett, how are we going to tackle today's topic?
So because we are 17 minutes in and I'm, aware of time,
we can delay the show.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay,
we'll
fine.
go over.
Okay,
no problem.
Fine. So we'll talk about what it means to believe in yourself, and we'll talk about the benefits of it, and we'll talk about some strategies. So that's literally it.
Then let's start it off.
Okay, so I want to start off with a beautiful quote by Roald Dahl, who is a writer for children's books, and it's the quote is wonderful. It's those who don't believe in magic will never find it.
Aww.
Right? And so that means that if we do believe in magic, if we do believe in fairy tales, if we do believe in so many different things, in all the whimsies, we will see it. But if we close our eyes to the world, if we put on those shutters, sorry, I just hit my microphone. If we put on those blinkers as well, we'll only see what's in front of us. Let's take off those blinkers as we will, like from a racehorse, and you can see a different perspective. You can change your thoughts. You can change your viewpoints. And that's what we'd like to do more of. And the more we do that, the more whimsical we become, the more we'll believe in magic. And I want to believe in magic, and I want all of us to believe in magic because the world is such a beautiful place to live in. So that comes hand in hand with believing in ourselves.
Because we're magic.
Because we're magic. We are. I mean, if you think of it, we're just like a tiny little atom that bloomed out of nothing. And we're these human beings that are like the top of the food chain, and we're on this crazy little planet that's floating through space. I mean, how magical is that if we think of it?
That is truly magical. There's
really
nothing
is.
more magical than real life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the thing is we tend to bog ourselves down with all of the pains of the past and the insecurities and our thoughts and all of these things that make us think, no, I'm not magical. I'm not good enough. I don't believe in myself. And then we get impacted and compounded with all these different layers of low self-worth, of low confidence. And then we don't do anything with our life, and then we get imposter syndrome. So, let's tackle that. Let's unpack these layers, and let's realize that actually each and every one of us can really achieve what we want. We just need to set our mind to it, and also realize that we are the only person who is actually stopping us from achieving our dreams. Oh, but we often put it on other people. We say, oh, no, I can't do that because mom says that, or because society says that, or because culture says that. And yes, of course, there's a certain amount of degree of truth to that, for sure. We have mentioned it many times on the show. And at the same time, you are the only one who can steer your own ship. And so, yeah, that is basically about that, believing in what you can achieve. Because the thing is, the level of your success that you see in your life is the direct result of your belief system. I'll say that again. The level of your success in your life is the direct result of your belief system. So if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, same thing will happen. Exactly. So once we start changing that belief system, once we start seeing a different perspective, things will shift automatically. You'll start receiving more abundance in your life. You'll be less on scarcity. You'll be more on like, yeah, okay, things are happening for me, not to me. Because oftentimes we think, oh, life happens to me all the time and like, woe is me and like blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's fine, but that is a victim mentality as well. Whereas if we change that and go, yes, actually life is happening for me, and stuff does happen all the time, but it's okay. Let me just, pick it up and move through with that.
So in essence, you are in control of what happens to you.
Always. And of course, yes, there's circumstances that happen, like horrible things do happen to good people. They do, unfortunately. You can lose your job. You can be a victim of war. You can be, in coming back from a broken family. You can have so many things. Of course, I'm not denying that at all. And at the same time, if we let that take hold of who we are and move and make it, we go, oh, no, that's what happened to me and that's how it's always going to be, then okay, you will become the victim of your circumstances. But if you go, yeah, that's pretty crap, that is horrible what happened to me. And at the same time, I deserve more. I choose to do better. So how can we change that?
Yeah.
Not easy, of course, especially if we have come up from an abusive family. And I for me, that is where I have so much of my passion, so much of my work goes into that, inner child healing, into that. Yes, we all have had traumas from our past, all of us. And they could be small T's, they could be big T's, they could be so many different types of traumas that, for example, a trauma for me could be different for a trauma from you. But we've all experienced something in our life that has rattled our nervous system. But it's being aware of that. It's coming back to going, yeah, that wasn't great, but what can I do that can change it? So the positive thing about achieving our goals, about believing in ourselves is that, yes, we can achieve our goals, we can manifest our dreams, and we'll do another show about manifestation because that is a great way to sort of like think in your body and all your senses to how you can manifest those dreams. And of course, believing in yourself increases your well-being, increases your confidence, and it allows you to have more effective coping mechanisms as well. The negative side of it is that you're less likely to act. So you're less likely to put yourself out there and try new things. You have a victim mentality. So it's like, woe is me, things do happen to me, instead of for me. So that means that you are not likely to change. It means that you don't have a good relationship with change. And it means that you're not going to push yourself. You're not going to motivate yourself. And the thing about believing in yourself, you have a lot of self-motivation. When you don't really believe in yourself, you tend to want other people to motivate you, to inspire you, to tell you what to do. Whereas with the belief system, you're like, okay, that's scary. I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to put myself out there anyway. And so the thing also about not having that good of a belief system in yourself is that you feel very strongly about success and achievement, in the sense that only other people can succeed, only other people can achieve, only the people who deserve it, only the people who have put a lot of effort into it. But I can't do that. It's too much effort for me, or it's too much, it's always been this way, so I won't. So it's having more of a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. And the thing about the growth mindset is that your belief is in your basic abilities, and they can be developed. They can be improved through dedication, through hard work, and through putting yourself out there and trying. Whereas a fixed mindset is just, no, I'm not even going to bother trying because I won't ever succeed. And sometimes as well, the belief system comes down to a self-fulfilling prophecy. So a lot of people say, oh, but I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, which means that my whole day is going to be screwed, and we do say that. It's like, oh, I woke up on the left side of the bed, or I didn't have, X, Y, Z, and it's like your day will unfold. And yes, of course, it does actually compound it, and it does continuously act that way. If you wake up in the morning, you've had a bad night's sleep, and then you've had a breakfast full of like carbs and like fats and all that, it will compound in how you throughout your day. But if we have that attitude consistently of going, yeah, this is how my life is going to be, then your belief system will be affected by that. So it can happen where you've had a bad night's sleep, but you wake up and go, okay, that's all right. I've had a bad night's sleep. It doesn't mean that because I've had a bad night's sleep, then I'm not going to believe in myself today to try something different and achieve something else.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know how to phrase this question very well, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you find that believing in yourself is most difficult for people when they are beginning a new project or a new job or a new opportunity, or when they've already kind of started and the glamour has worn off and the novelty has worn off, and you actually now have to get to the nitty-gritty, unglamorous part of it?
Yeah, and I love that question. The thing is, it's what happens behind the scenes that actually makes you achieve more. We often try to put ourselves in front of people. We often try to put ourselves in front of people to say, okay, I'm going to achieve this. I'm doing it for you. And then it's like the glamour, as you said, has gone. And then you start getting into like the normal flow of things, let's say. Yeah. But you need to consistently do that in order to make sure that you achieve your goals, let's say, long term. So how do you keep that motivation going? It's behind the scenes. It's what you're doing in every single day that makes you get up in the morning. So it comes back to self-motivation again. There was a beautiful saying by, I forget who it was, it was Usain Bolt, where he said that I had to run every day for I don't know how many hours, just to run those 4 minutes. Wasn't it like or that 1 minute or something like that? But all in all, to say that he put in the efforts every single day to do that. Whereas people will come to a point where going, okay, I've put in the effort 1 or 2 months or 3 months, and I haven't achieved my goals yet. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in myself. I don't believe that what I'm going to achieve in the long run is worth it. So I'm not going to keep on trying every single day.
It's really tough, I feel, when okay, you're trying and you've been consistently trying, but you're just not seeing those results. And you are putting in the effort and you are working hard, but it's just like very incremental, very tiny, tiny progress.
Yeah.
And of course, objectively that the progress adds up eventually. It's going to get there someday. But it just seems so far at that moment. And I think that's the hardest part of staying consistent and believing in yourself.
Yeah, and so it's the comparison of what you were yesterday to today. That is what we need to focus on, not on where we're going to be. Because if we focus on what we want to achieve and where we're going to be, we're going to feel like we're drowning. We're going to feel like we're not achieving that much, and it's scary. But if we view it as, say, for example, you want to walk up the Eiffel Tower. You want to reach the top. That's your aim goal. You can't jump up there. You can't abseil up there. You can't do what needs to be done to go up there. You have to walk every single step to get up there. It's tiring. Are you going to, like you're looking up going, oh my God, there's still so much to go. There's like flights and flights and flights and flights and flights of stairs. It's too overwhelming. I can't do this. I feel dizzy.
Yeah.
But if you just keep on putting that step every single day, one step, even just one step every single day, after like, let's say a year, you will reach the top. But we don't often do that. We want to get there now. We want to just push ourselves and go, yeah, okay. And you can run up those stairs and feel completely exhausted, and then you get completely tired out, and then you might, be in bed for like a week because you're so tired, and you go, you see, I haven't achieved anything. I'm back to square zero. But actually, if you realize, no, I am achieving every single day, I'm pushing myself every single day, and I'm going to be focusing on what the small wins are of the day, then that's where we have to continue, is celebrating those wins every single day, with the goal in mind, for sure, with the top of the Eiffel Tower, for sure, but not, now. You can't achieve it now. Or another one also, say, for example, people who want to climb Mount Everest. If you're dropped onto Mount Everest, at the tip of Mount Everest, 8,000 meters up, you will die. Because you're not accustomed to it, you're not acclimatized to it, you don't have the oxygen masks available for you, your body hasn't been, is not controlled in that environment. So the way that they have it with people who walk up Mount Everest is that they take them to base camp at 5,000 meters, they stay there for a couple of days to acclimatize, they walk up 1,000 meters, and they come back down. So your body gets acclimatized. Wow. Yeah, so your body gets acclimatized to that. And then they go to base 2, base 3, and then eventually they'll get to base 4, which is the top of the mountain. And they don't die at that point. Of course, they'll need oxygen masks. The Sherpas don't, because the Sherpas do it every single day, which is amazing. So it goes to show the body is able to adapt to different environments. So if we view that in how we view our success and our achievements, to go, okay, Sorry, guys. I'm just moving that one little bit higher, and then I can come back down a little bit and just allow my body to acclimatize, to relax, but I have the end goal of reaching that mountain.
Wow. Who knew a metaphor about Mount Everest could be so apt for day-to-day life? But yeah, I get the sentiment.
Right? So it is just going, yeah, I see it up there, but I will need to focus on today.
Yeah.
Should we go on a little short break, Tella?
We shall, and we'll come right back. You can find the whole episode later on our SoundCloud.mnfm.com. Coming up next, we got a request that's coming from Aziz and Namani for Cool in the Gang Celebration.
Your nation station on Mount Everest 90.4.
Get on track with Hyesha Barrett on Jumpstart from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aman. You're listening to 90.4 Aman FM live here in studio numero uno. Taral Shahri here with you alongside Sara Alouatia and, of course, Hyesha Barrett. I called Sara Hyesha yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Taral just keeps...
I'm so sorry, Sara. I literally cannot control it.
Yeah, which is worse, actually. So... I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Maybe I see you as the Pokemon Ditto. You remember?
What does that mean?
It's a Pokemon that can turn into any other Pokemon.
Cool! I'd like to be...
Shapeshifter.
I really only want to ever be 2 Pokemons, which is either Snorlax or Jigglypuff.
I did not expect Snorlax. Hyesha's so lost right now.
I'm so lost. I have no idea about any of these Pokemon.
I'm going to show Hyesha what
show
they
me.
look like.
I have a little joke for you.
Jigglypuff I can get, but Snorlax, you?
Please show me.
I love Snorlax.
What's your little joke?
My little joke is, how do you... Oh, I've seen him before. He's so cute.
And let me show you Jigglypuff.
Okay. How do you get Pikachu on the bus?
How?
You Pokemon. Oh, he's cute as well.
I've never heard that laugh from Sara ever. It was almost singy.
It took me by surprise.
Okay, guys. So, away from Pokemon, back to believing in yourself, just like Ash Ketchum did. We are talking today about that. Our SoundCloud is going to have the full link to the show later on in the day. You can follow Hyesha at Coach_Hyesha on Instagram or hit us up on our WhatsApp. We'll give you the details, 72442-007. Hyesha, floor is yours.
Okay, so before we get into benefits and strategies, let's go a little bit more into it, unpack it a little bit more. So that the difference between successful people, in their health, in their business, in their life, is that successful people are determined to make a situation work in their favor. So even if things fail, they still go, okay, no worries, I'll pick myself back up and I'll move through that. Rather than playing the role of saying, nah, I've tried it once, I don't want to try again because it's too embarrassing and it's too, people are going to judge me. I actually am going to find reasons why it didn't work and let me move through that. A good example is Thomas Edison. So he apparently tried to make the light bulb. He tried over 1,000 times. And then when he eventually made it, he was like, it's not that I didn't fail 1,000 times. I found 1,000 times, or let's say 999 times, how to not make one, how to not make a light bulb. And I eventually found it. So that is such a beautiful perspective shift, right? To go, okay, I failed failed in air quotes. I'm actually learning through I'm failing. So it's like a completely different mentality around that, which is so beautiful. Even there's a guy called Mel Fisher, and he found out that there was a sunken ship back in the day in the, I think, off the coast of Florida, and he was adamant to find this ship. He believed in himself, even though people were like, you're wasting so much time, you're putting in too much funding, you're out at sea for so long. It took him 16 years of him believing in himself that he eventually found the ship, and there was $400 million on that ship. Yeah, so check him out. It's called Mel Fisher. He died a few years ago.
Did he keep it?
Well, apparently he kept it, put it into a fund, and he did so many things with it, But all in all, to say 16 years, that's a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
That's
for 4 million.
Right, yeah. But the thing is, he wasn't sure whether that was there. But he believed, after all the research that he did, after all of the information that he found, after all the evidence and the data that he collected, he had such belief that it was there, so he pushed through and he found it, which is honestly amazing. Also, another beautiful analogy is when there's one farmer who's sowing his seeds, and he puts in the seeds, and he believes that through love, through care, through watering, through the right soil, through the right amount of sunshine, that those seeds will grow. Whereas if you have another farmer who's like, no, I'm gonna dig up that soil every single day because I'm not believing that it's going to be growing. I'm not believing in myself, or I'm not believing that the plant is meant to grow. Then you start digging up that soil, expecting there to be growth, but actually you're making more damage in those seeds. Whereas if you just let it grow and you just trust in the process and you just know in your knowledge that yes, I'm doing the right steps that needs to be done to make sure that this plant grows, that we flourish, that we eventually will grow, then you will reap the success that's needed. So I hope you like all these little analogies that I put out there to show that yes, of course, we need to put in what we need to put in to achieve. And there's a lot of people that say, oh, fake it till you make it. And I don't believe in that. I believe in your phone's going off a little bit. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I don't know why it keeps buzzing, even though it's on D&T.
So I'd like us to look at it as fake it like you mean it. So when you actually mean what you do, mean what you say, mean how you act, mean how you feel, then you will act in integrity. Then you will start moving towards your success. There's a beautiful quote by Gandhi as well. He also said, happiness is when you think, say, and do that live in harmony. So you think it, you say it, and you do it, and then once you do everything in congruence, you will achieve your goals. So let's go into a little bit more before we go into the benefits as well. We need to look at believing as our self-worth, which is you have a value as a human being, your self-confidence. So that means that you have your positive attitude about your abilities, your qualities, your self-judgment. You need to have self-trust. That is your faith that you can rely on things going wrong, but actually you picking yourself up, so it's like, and also relying on what you will do as you say. A lot of us say things, but we don't actually fulfill that.
We don't take action.
So it's like, for example, you and me. If you tell me, Hyesha, trust me, I'm doing this every single day, and, you know, I'll put that trust into you, right? But one day, if I realize you haven't actually been doing the things that you say you've been doing, my trust goes down a little bit from you, right? It's the same thing for us. If we tell ourselves, okay, Hyesha, I'm going to get myself out of bed every single morning and I'm going to do 20 push-ups, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to eat healthy today, but then I don't do it. How much trust
diminishes.
Right? And we all do that. We all do that to ourselves.
Is there like, okay, I know that it's maybe sometimes what I'm about to say might come off as kind of slightly unhinged.
I love it. Please be unhinged if you want.
But, you know, in order to get to that part of believing that you're going to do it, at some point you have to force yourself to do it every day for it to become an actual habit, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So is there ways, techniques that are maybe not your normal technique? No, I'm not talking like Pomodoro method. I'm not talking like actual things that will force you to stay and do the thing. And it works.
Well, the thing is about tools and techniques, they're great, but the bottom line is motivation. You need to understand what your motivation lies. If you're not going to be pushing yourself every single day to get the thing that you want, you will start getting distracted, you'll start falling off the bandwagon, you'll start, doing different things.
But is it really motivation or is it discipline?
It's both. Motivation and discipline is so important. You have to have that perseverance. So with discipline, you're having the, let's say a schedule.
Yeah.
So you have like, okay, I'm going to, for example, let's always go back to, let's say, going to the gym, because that's the easiest thing that a lot of us understand and have applied in our life. If you don't put a set time and a set day and a set moment that you're going to go to the gym, you're not going to do it. So say, for example, me in the morning, I know working out in the morning works for me better than going out in the evening, working out in the evening. So I have now enforced it where after my meditation every morning, I have my shoes near my bed, I put on my shoes straight away and I go for a walk or I go for a run before anything.
This is the whitest thing I've ever heard.
Right? It is the whitest thing. And the thing is, if we have a garden around our place, it's easier to do that.
Do you have a dog as well?
If we have it, exactly. But I understand.
Answer the question, do you have a dog?
I do have a dog. I have 2 dogs. I have 2 dogs and a cat.
Basically the whitest thing ever.
So everyone, guys, I would recommend to have a little bit more white inside of you and get a dog.
Get a dog. It will force you to exercise.
But you see, having the things around you to make you do things really does help. If you're living at home, if you have someone who just replenishes your fridge with like all these crappy foods, you're obviously going to not have that motivation to push yourself. It's much more difficult. But if you actually have things around you that inspire you, that push you, then it will be a lot easier to do. So finding the tools and tips to do that is key. Having the shoes beside you, waking up earlier, going to bed earlier, having the right food, having the right support system around you, watching the right things on YouTube or on Netflix or on your phone that inspires you, not makes you feel, depreciate yourself. These are little tips and tools that you can do, but in terms of actually pushing yourself to do it, you need the motivation, you need the discipline, you need the perseverance, and you need to be able to put in the action every single day for at least 66 days, as they say, for it to become automatic. Because then it comes to a point now that your brain has gone, okay, Sarah wants to work out every single day, let's make sure that she does that. And so after 66 days, that automaticity will be implemented in your brain, and you'll be like, okay, cool. Now I actually miss it if I don't do it. But you have to do it for that long.
Yes, you have to just work through it.
You have to. And the thing is, a lot of, and I feel that sigh in you, because a lot of people are like that. They're like, oh my God, I have to put in the effort. No, I don't want to put in the effort. I want just a magical wand, that can just like make everything just perfect for me, and I can just like easily not have to do anything.
No, Hyesha, like I love putting in the effort. Like I love sitting down to work, but I just sometimes like doing it is just so exhausting. It's just so mentally draining. It's just like you want to do it. There is that motivation. There's just no energy in you.
if you look back on that time, that reflection time, how was your sleeping habits during that day? Did you have, with your friends, with your family, did you have an argument with them? Did you have a certain amount of food? Did you, what was the circumstances that you were in? Because that really deeply impacts the way that you have your energy, right? So focusing on that and having maybe a sleep log, maybe having a food diary, maybe having, there's so many things. It's not just, there's so many little things that actually add up. And maybe you just needed more rest during that day. Okay, great. But then taking that rest and putting in the next schedule, going, tomorrow I'm going to start again. I'm going to be self-disciplined to start again. Then that's where you'll get the motivation back.
So in order to perform at your best, you also have to make sure that you're getting your rest and you're getting 8 hours of sleep. You're getting all the right nutrients for your body. You're not over-caffeinating, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, that sounds obvious.
It sounds obvious, but it's...
I do realize that there are some things missing in that formula for me.
There we go.
Yeah.
Our basic needs are so important to our survival and our thrival. It's not just a matter of going, I'm just surviving today, but what's making you thrive today? Are you getting in your right vitamins? Are you getting in, whatever you need to do to make sure that you are at your optimal? So it's important to evaluate that and to realize that, because it has such a massive impact on our energy. And energy is a completely different, it's such a topic of its own, energy, where it really, really impacts everything and everyone around us. We can be in a room now with someone who we don't feel very good around because of whatever there is. And that would throw me off. That would throw me off about, speaking on the radio, or I might feel a little bit more judged by this person or whatever it may be. And it really does impact the way that we feel on the inside. And the way that we feel on the inside definitely impacts on how we portray ourselves on the outside. So
believing in yourself is actually also influenced by external factors as well as internal.
True. The thing is, if we get affected by people on the outside, looking at us, judging us, and if we're not strong on the inside, we will get blown over. We will get rattled. Mm-hmm. That's why we have to do a lot of the internal work, get our root system really strong so that, so
nothing sways us.
Yeah. For example, as a tree, if we have the strong roots in the ground, and if a storm comes, because a storm will always come, yes, we will shake. Yes, our leaves will get blown off. Yes, our branches will break, but our trunk will remain strong. Our core will remain strong, and our roots will be strong. And then eventually we'll grow back again. But if our foundation isn't strong, if our roots are not strong, we will get blown over by the storm, and potentially we could get uprooted. And then imagine then a tree's lying on the floor. How's it going to grow? So it's very important to get your foundation, your roots strong, your core on the inside strong, your belief system strong. So that comes back to your self-worth, your self-confidence, your self-trust, your autonomy, which means also choosing to direct your own behavior. Believing that you will succeed is so important. Having ownership of your life is so important. And the last one is environmental mastery, which is the belief that your efforts will result in the changes that you make. So a few questions that I'd like to go around that before we get into some benefits and strategies. For your self-worth, ask yourself the question of, do you value yourself as a human being? We all think that we do, but do we really? That again comes back to imposter syndrome, what we were talking about earlier with Talal. Imposter syndrome comes around a lot of valuing yourself, for having a lot of self-worth. And that's a big thing that I've been working on myself, to up-level my self-worth, up-level my self-value. And that allows me to realize that, yes, I do agree that I'm a good person. I do agree that I'm actually, I'm equal to others. And so the self-worth is very important. Your self-confidence. Do you feel good about your skills? Do you feel good about your strengths and abilities? Do you feel good about your own personal qualities? Do you feel good about your own judgment and your level of indecisiveness and decisiveness? Because that's also very important in the way that you make decisions for yourself without worrying about what other people think. Self-trust. Can you rely on yourself? Can you trust that you'll do as you say you will do? A lot of people think yes, but actually when we come down to the nitty-gritty of it, we don't have a lot of self-trust in ourselves, because we say, yeah, I'm going to go and do this, but then no one's looking. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to the gym today. I can just go and sit on the couch, right? And so there's a lot of questions that we need to ask ourselves to be more self-aware.
Yeah.
Autonomy. Do you feel free to do what you really want to do? Do you believe that no one can stop you from realizing your dreams? And I know it comes back to what we were saying as well about society and about culture. I get it. Here, it's not as Talal was saying, I'm very white, and so I'm able to do things that I want to do without, offending the family or, having any cultural bias. Of course, here in Oman, we're very family-centered, very cultural-centered, which is beautiful. And at the same time, maybe perhaps it's not allowing us to achieve what we really want because we're so afraid of what other people think. We're so afraid of it compounding, the family ethics and what people will think, in the broad scheme of things. But we need autonomy in our life. We need to be able to be assured in our own body, in our own system, that yes, I can achieve what I want to achieve regardless of what anyone thinks. I have a beautiful client. She is a graphic designer, and she feels very sad because her sisters are all doctors. And she's like, my parents say that I should be more than just a graphic designer. And I'm like, no, you need to do you. And I feel so right. And it's all about knowing what are your abilities, what are your qualities. Graphic designers can become extremely wealthy, more wealthy than doctors. But it's, again, having that mindset shift of going, yes, I'm going to go and do whatever I want to do, regardless of what my parents say. The last one is environmental mastery. So it's when you do take action, do you believe that it will end up in the result that you desire? Do you really believe that? Not think that. We'll come back into manifestation in a couple of weeks' time, but if you just think it, you won't achieve it. You have to believe it in your body. You have to really, really feel it, physically. I will achieve this. I will reach that. Not now. I'm not going to be on Mount Everest today, but I will achieve that goal eventually.
Which is the same concept as kind of manifesting your goals.
Absolutely. Yeah, it all comes hand in hand again.
Yeah.
And so yeah, these are the 5 things that we need to think about in terms of believing ourselves. I'll say them again: self-worth, self-confidence, self-trust, autonomy, and environmental mastery. So the benefits around, do you want to go on a break, Talal, or shall I continue to benefits and strategies?
Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And
Talal's like, oh my God, I need a break.
Okay, we'll be right back. Stay tuned to Jumpstart on 90.4.
You're now tuning in to the Nation Station on FM 90.4.
Get on track with Hyesha Barrett on Jumpstart from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aman. You're listening to 90.4 Aman FM live here in Studio Numero Uno. This is Wellness Wednesday with Master Life Coach Hyesha Barrett, and today's episode is called Believing in Yourself. That's why we got a request earlier for I Believe I Can Fly by the non-problematic...
That was in my head the whole time.
By a very non-problematic artist, R. Kelly. And so this was a request that came in way earlier, but we were talking so much... It came in so long ago that I don't remember who requested it. Oh wait, it was Mahmoud, I guess. Sorry, Mahmoud, if you're still out there, I hope that you managed to catch the song. And our WhatsApp is open 724420007. I know Mahmoud will forgive us. Lovely guy. So let's get back into it. It's our final segment of Wellness Wednesday. Hyesha, floor's yours.
Okay, so let's get into the strategies now. The benefits, no need, because we're all going to realize the benefits of I'll just quickly go over them, but it's you're not taking anyone's judgment personally, which is great. You trust yourself. You know that you can achieve more. You fail more gracefully, and fail is FAIL, so it's finding answers in life. That's the way that I like to look at it. It's nothing bad about it. You're just finding new ways to look at things. You're creating a vision in your mind. You're reconnecting and recommitting to yourself, which is beautiful. And we all want that at the end of the day. We all want to make sure that we do have a lot more autonomy and a lot more self-trust. So let's go to the strategies. Now, relating to what we were talking about, our self-talk is so important. It's probably the most important thing that we have to take away from the show today. 24/7, we are always in our thoughts, we're always in our mind, we're always thinking things, we're always either talking to ourselves verbally or even just in our head. And a lot of us don't realize how much it influences us. Our negative self-talk does really, really impact the way that we act, the way that we think, and the way that we actually take action. So when we start realizing that, okay, Hyesha, you're berating yourself a little bit too much today, or you're putting yourself down a little bit too much. Like I did my TED talk. I'll tell you an example, and all that I'm thinking of is the things that I forgot to say. I'm not focusing on, wow, I was on stage in front of these people and I confronted my fear. Wow, people came up to me and they were actually crying because I took them through a little exercise to reconnect with their inner child. They came up to me, they said how amazing it was. I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing on what I did wrong. And it's like, Hyesha, just realize that you've done so much. Just focus on that. And so our self-talk is so important. So important. And it starts affecting your dreams as well. Because if you have like this negative self-talk in the day, it will naturally go into your nighttime, into your habits. Because your brain is like, oh, Hyesha wants to talk about negatively about herself. Great. Let's start attracting negative things in her life. But when you start changing that, and I'm getting better and better at it because I'm catching myself now. I used to go in a downward spiral. I used to go, yes, you're really bad and you're never going to do things again and blah, 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 blah. Now I'm like, okay, yes, you forgot that. That's fine. And at the same time, look at what you've done as well.
Yeah, I think it's of course quite sad that we always focus on the negatives and we don't celebrate our wins enough. But I wanted to share also, I saw the other day on Instagram, some girl literally named her brain. So for example, I'll name my brain Zulekha. And whenever I catch my brain thinking all these negative things, I'm like, Zulekha, not today.
Yes.
Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to think about that today. And you actually talk to your brain like you're talking to a friend.
Love it.
And I think that is so cool. And I just wanted to share with everyone because I'm going to do it.
Yes, that's such a great tip. So good. And so I have my harsh inner critic who I call Sasha. So when she pops up...
And you have a name for your harsh inner critic.
I do. So when she pops on I'm like, Sasha, you're here again. And the thing about when, you have this negative voice that comes in, your harsh inner critic or Zulekha who comes up, it's not about dismissing her or saying, shut up, go away, just go away. No, I'm banishing you. It's about actually talking to her. That's the key to saying, okay, you're here again, Sasha. Okay, what do you want to say? What would you like to say to me? What's the message that you want to give to me? And more often than not, when we listen to them, when we hear them, and we hear what they have to say, there's an unmet need that just needs to be met, and then we feel better.
Like what?
To say, for example, I spoke to Sasha about me doing bad on stage. And it's like, okay, Sasha, what happened today? Why are you so angry? Why are you so upset? And she's like, because you forgot to memorize that last bit of the speech and you didn't deliver it well. I'm like, okay, is it okay that I didn't do that though? So I had a back and forth conversation with her. And at the beginning she was like, yeah, it's okay, but you should have done better. I was like, okay, how can I improve next time? And then she said, okay, by next time you need to do X, Y, Z and learn blah, 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 and do more preparation. And we went into like a 15-minute conversation about it. And by the end of it, I came out, I was like, are you happier now, Sasha, about this? And I was like, yeah, I am. Great. And we became friends again.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it takes time, it takes energy, it takes practice, and it takes skill. And some people out there are like, oh my God, Hyesha's really weird. She's talking to herself and she has like an alter ego called Sasha.
Cool.
And
I think it's a great tip.
Because at
Sasha and Zulekha. Yeah, so I'm saying Sasha Fierce left Beyonce and went to Hyesha.
There we go.
She is Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, but isn't that it's good for her, right, though? Sasha Fierce, I think she's her
alter ego,
when she's on stage. Whereas me, my Sasha is mean. She's fierce in the other way. She's mean to me. But we're becoming friends gradually over time. Sasha and Zulekha can become friends.
Okay, just to clarify, my brain's name is not Zulekha. I'm still figuring out the right fit.
So talking to yourself and realizing that catching yourself is so, so important. Next thing as well, what can we do? We can work on our procrastination. We can work on our perfectionism tendencies. We can work on our self-doubts. You know, when we realize that, again, that comes hand in hand, catching it and going, okay, let me move through this. Making fear with your friend. You know, making fear.
Making friends with your
fear. Sorry.
Sorry.
Are we getting to that part of the show when I start jumbling things up?
You're doing terrible.
Fear with your friends.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
I love it.
Making friends with your fear. Oh God. Because the thing is, if we look at fear, just like we look at fail, FAIL, as finding answers in life, let's look at fear as, instead of forget everything and run, to face everything and rise. Which is beautiful. Again, it's a mindset shift. Everything is a mindset shift, a perspective shift.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful analogy as well on the plane. I was coming back the other day, a while ago now, and there was a guy sitting next to me, and he has a big fear of flying. And, you know, he had the bag out. He was nearly going to vomit. And I was like, it's okay. I was trying to, like, calm him down a little bit.
That's so nice of you.
I know.
To do that.
Yeah, because, you know, the poor guy, it feels horrible when you have that motion sickness, right? And then there was some kids behind who were just going, yay, because there was turbulence. Yay, you know? And so you have the kids who are like, yay, this is so fun. And the guy next to me is like, oh, my God, I'm going to vomit.
Yeah.
You know, we're both in the same situation. We're all in the same plane together. But it's, how are you viewing the situation? How is it affecting you? And as soon as we have that mindset shift, things change dramatically. We go from scarcity to abundance, which is beautiful. Feeding your mind with beautiful things, you know, good meditations, good, mindfulness, manifestation, watching the good things on YouTube or on your social medias is so important. You know, not only necessarily having a digital detox, like putting away your phones, which is also very key as well, but making sure that you're following the people that give you like a boost of energy, give you positivity in your life, people who you align with, people who you resonate with. That's also so important of your own self-belief. If you're surrounding yourself with people who just put you down, of course you're going to start feeling miserable about yourself, you know. And so it's very important to have that. It's such a little thing, but it's very, very important. Changing your physiology when you're in a state of slumber or state of, you know, like relaxation, where you think, oh, I don't feel good. Get up, move around. Say, for example, again with the TED Talks, I was backstage. I was really, really nervous, as we are, and I was just doing a power stance. So I was standing up strong. I was doing the King Kong on my. It
really works.
Yeah, it really works. It really does allow you to go, yes, I'm in my body now. I'm out of my brain. I've practiced as much as I could. Even if I fail, it doesn't matter. I'm out there. I'm achieving one of my goals, and you know, and it really changes your state.
And it adds some whimsy and magic.
Exactly. Coming back to what we
life.
were saying as well.
Yeah.
You know, we can bring back the magic in your life, which is what we all want, which is beautiful. I have so many things I can go into as well. Talal, shall I continue or?
You know what? Let's do it.
Okay. So, of course, creating healthy routines is what we mentioned as well. You know, being open to change. That is, I think, one of the key things as well to believing in yourself. Where as long as you know that change is constant, and as long as you agree that it doesn't matter if you're going to be in one, you know, the disruption and the dysregulation that you get from change is scary, but that's actually what is necessary to move through. You know, one very easy analogy is the caterpillar to a butterfly. In order for a caterpillar
Doing terribly, Hyesha.
Caterpillar.
So bad. I don't know why you even do this.
Caterpillar. It's beyond 1 hour now. That's my scope of brain power to allow.
Oh my
I need a break. I
God.
need a Pomodoro to break. So in order for a caterpillar to become a butterfly, oh my God, this is terrible.
You asked to continue.
It actually has to die. You know, it doesn't, the metamorphosis of a caterpillar actually dies before it actually becomes a butterfly.
Yeah.
You know, and so we have to die. We have to metaphorically die in order to become someone better, something better. We can't be the same person we were yesterday. We can't. It simply is not possible. So once we start having a beautiful relationship to change, that, okay, I'm shedding who I was and I'm going to become a better me, then things are like, ooh, this is exciting. You know, we come back to the analogy of the plane. It becomes exciting and it's not nerve-wracking where, oh, I'm going to be vomiting throughout this, but I'm actually going to be excited throughout this.
Yeah.
So your relationship to change has to be different. Your self-care, your self-love, your self-compassion, also very, very key. We were talking about what you were saying as well about your energy. If you don't have a lot of self-love, a lot of self-care, and that isn't only going to the doing your nails and going have spa treatments. Yes, that's very important. But the internal work is so, so, so key. Self-belief, you know, self-motivation, self-discipline, self-trust, that is so important. And all that comes together is self-awareness. If you're aware that you want to change and that you want to do something better with your life, you will put in those necessary steps to change as well. And of course, embrace who you are. Embrace your uniqueness. Of course, it's great to be as other people are, because that's where we tend to feel that we can connect. And at the same time, if we embrace our own uniqueness, other people will go, oh, okay, Sarah's putting herself out there and she's acting different. She's in her own element. That makes me want to be more motivated and do the same, you know? And so celebrating those is so beautiful and important. Writing things down about what's important to you, what your values, maybe even some things like, what are your belief systems? What's something that you were told in your past that you think is a continuous narrative that's going on in your adult life? What would you like to change? What's something in your childhood that you wanted to hear that you never heard? Maybe it's something that your parents never told you. Maybe it's something that you wanted to achieve, like become like a graphic designer or an artist or a musician or a painter. But your parents were just like, no, there's no money in that. What is it that you feel you had to let go of in your childhood that you can actually bring back in your adulthood now? And your belief system will actually come hand in hand with that. You're looking a little bit sad right now, Sarah. What happened?
No, I'm fine. I'm just listening to you.
But it is so true, right? The whole childhood is so important. It really, really does impact on how we become as human, as adults. So again, the self-talk, Sasha is my harsh inner critic, but I also have little Hyesha, who I haven't actually named, just little Hyesha, who I also speak to every single day.
Oh, is that your inner child?
That's my inner child, because I need to speak to her. We have to speak to our little children inside of us to connect to who we are. Like, what makes me happy? Like, oftentimes when I hear too much of Sasha, I'll talk to her, I'll put her away, and then I'll say, okay, you happy now, Sasha? Okay, great. I'm going to go and speak to my inner child now. And then I actually speak to her, I hug myself, and I connect, and then I feel so much better. And then me, older Hyesha, younger Hyesha, and Sasha become one again. Otherwise, we're just battling against each other. I'm not schizophrenic. Don't worry, guys. You know, we can often think we are, but I mean... That will be for another show. Schizophrenia.
I mean...
Yeah. Would you debate that, Talal? Do you think I'm a little bit schizo?
I think you're intentionally schizo. You're creating them intentionally. A schizophrenic person doesn't do it intentionally. You are building towards mental illness. So that is growth mindset.
Absolutely,
right there.
yeah. I want to become a schizophrenic. Love it.
Nalomino is asking, have you heard about neurologist programming?
Neurologist programming?
Yes.
So is that where you change the neurology in your brain?
Why are you asking me?
No, I'm asking because I haven't actually. I don't know the exact terminology of that.
I thought that was a lobotomy.
Okay, let me ask ChatGPT.
I watched Total Recall recently. Have you seen it?
No, what is that?
It's amazing. It's especially the original. It's all about lobotomies. Yeah.
It's actually quite terrifying how
Of course it
lobotomies
is,
were
yeah.
considered a legitimate form of, of curing your mental illness.
The very last person to get one was Sarah, actually, in 1999.
Yeah, I did get the last recorded lobotomy. I currently don't have a prefrontal cortex.
Oh, wow. But you're still so amazingly clever and present.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Says the schizophrenic. So, neurological programming, often referred to simply as neurolinguistic programming, is a psychological approach that explores how thoughts, language, and patterns of behavior interact to influence how we experience the world and respond to it. In simple, NLP is about rewiring the brain through language and behavioral techniques to improve things like communication, personal development, and even emotional regulation.
Self-concept work. Amazing. I love it. I love NLP. And it's so key. It really does help us to just rewire the relationships to our memories. So we'll always have the same memories, of course, but how do these memories trigger us? How do they impact us? And so when we change the relationship to these memories, that's NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which is beautiful. So yeah, I think that's, I think we've spoken quite a bit about believing in ourselves, which is great. One thing that the 5 key things definitely, guys, to remember is your self-worth, your self-confidence, your self-trust, your autonomy, and your environmental mastery. That really does affect the way that you compound your belief system, and the level of your success that you see in your life is the direct result of your belief system. And yeah, as we said, let's always try and focus on having a bit more magic in our lives.
Yes, more magic, more whimsy, more motivation.
Yeah.
And just believing in ourselves, which I love.
So if you'd like to catch that whole episode and rehear the word caterfly and find out how to turn into...
And hear your friends.
For your friends, they may be caterflies or butterfillers.
So you can go and catch up
Butterpillars.
on our SoundCloud later at omanfm.om. Also, today was all about growing into schizophrenia. Today was about having weird named brains like Zerecha. Okay, I'm just summing up the show today.
Yeah, this
okay?
is the show today.
Beyonce lost her alter
Sasha
ego,
Fierce.
Sasha Fierce. Hyesha found it somehow, and Beyonce started making bad country music because of it. So I think it's your time to try out doing music, Hyesha. Just saying.
Oh, you should have a track called Believe in Yourself.
Hyesha made a bunch of people cry intentionally at a public event. Yeah, this is... oh, yeah. And Hyesha believes all of us should be white women.
See, it's all about the mindset shift.
All about the mindset.
Meditate every morning.
Get
Go
a dog.
for a jog.
Get a dog.
Get a dog, yeah. Shake, shimmy like Hillary Clinton. You know?
Do the King Kong.
King Kong starter.
Wellness Wednesday, everybody. Wellness Wednesday.
Tune in next week.
Coming up next, we got a request that's come in from this one is coming in from our very own Fafa Shaibia, requesting Sade or Sade.
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 Sade. Sad. Up next with the sweetest taboo.